everyone. Welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. Today we're talking about the finger spacing, that is, the gaps between the fingers. And this shows independence. It depends on what the category is, the quality or what the finger indicates to tell what they're independent reference to. Okay, we're talking about this space between the Jupiter and Saturn. Of course, that's the index finger and the middle finger. And then between Saturn and Apollo, that would be the middle finger and the ring finger. And finally, Apollo and Mercury. That's the ring finger and the little finger. If we look at your screen here, we see fingers fairly close together. The hand is open or held up in display, but the fingers are fairly close. Now, when the fingers are held closely together on an open hand like this, a person is likely to be introverted and fearful by nature, or may I change that word to cautious by nature, often lacking independence and self-confidence. He or she tends to conform to the rules and not rock the boat, whether they're on a job or in romance. By contrast, the wider the spacing between the fingers, the greater a person's openness, self-confidence, and daring. Very extroverted people, including small children, will lay their hands on the table with all their fingers spread outward. It's just a normal trait for extroverted people. All right, so we're going to look at a few of these with gaps. All right, let's take a look at this one. And we see a gap between the Jupiter and Saturn fingers. Okay, now some gaps may appear to be a little larger, but generally a gap is about that size, at least. Okay, this is an indicator of individuals who can make decisions for themselves as well as those around them. We're talking about this gap here. All right. This feature can be seen in the hands of managers or other practical decision makers. The day-to-day decisions are made by people with the gap between these two fingers. When the gap is prominent, it indicates a person who enjoys being the center of attention. That is, when the gap is at least that size or wider. Many people who possess this trait enjoy being self-employed, working in the public eye, or having a job where they can be on their own or take the initiative. Okay, so that's here between index and middle, Jupiter and Saturn. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to move this over and we'll compare on both of these hands. Okay, both have gaps. Some may appear a little larger on one than the other, but we can look at both of them. Now we're looking at the gap between Saturn and Apollo. Here is Saturn, the taller of the fingers, and this is Apollo. Middle finger, ring finger. Middle finger, ring finger. Okay, so we're clear. Usually, when the fingers of the hand are widely spaced in general, it shows independent thinking about the basic issues of life. Independent thinking, always independence is involved. Doing things on your own or making decisions on your own. Okay? All right, now let's go on to the next gap. We're looking at now Apollo or ring finger and little finger. Ring finger and little finger. Of course, you know this is Apollo, this is Mercury, so is this, Apollo and Mercury. Okay? A wide gap between the Apollo and Mercury fingers indicates that its owner is likely to be an independent and often unconventional person who tends to think outside the box at work. So this has to do with your work, your job. This can also be applied to people who enjoy working on their own. They don't particularly want anybody giving them instructions, sort of standing over their shoulders and saying, do it this way, do it that way. They're not interested in hearing that. And when this finger sticks out more, like this one is, or even more, they tend to be on their own pretty much. They don't want to be around too many people. They're not too trusting. They enjoy. They're like loners. They like to be by themselves. And maybe that's part of why, as far as work is concerned, they enjoy working alone. They really don't. And as a final summary of these, between these two, independent thinker, making decisions. They like doing that themselves. They may hear others' advice, but they want to be the one to make the final decision. Okay? That's here too. Here, the closer the fingers, the closer they are to their personal financial affairs. They will not tell you what they make, how they make it. They don't go that route at all. The wider, the more open they are, the more extroverted they are. And I've already told you about working alone, making their own decision, or just being by themselves. They kind of enjoy that. It's not a problem for them. All right, that's our lesson for today. I hope you're enjoying these short little tiplets. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, and of course, share and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay safe, love yourself, and of course, love and light. Bye.